We have got a great guest in studio right now, Matt Colbenson from the Sheriff's Office. Good morning, sir.
Morning, Jeff.
How are you?
Good, and yourself?
Doing good. Good to see you here. It is cooler here during the days and darker at nights. We've got Halloween tomorrow, and we're about a month, 2 months or so into school, and there's a lot of things going on here. Talk to me a little bit about some of the things that you look for and talk to folks about when it comes to safety on the roadways with kids walking about, and especially tomorrow night with Halloween coming up.
Oh man, well, as you know, we got a lot of fog coming in lately, and eventually we're gonna have to start having the icy roads from that frozen fog. Just good safety. Turn those lights on and be aware. I just had pulled the radar trailer, which we'll probably get into a little bit later, but pulled the radar trailer off Cole Road and kind of look at the speed, kind of looking at the stats on there, and you know, like we're getting a little over there, and it's on a corner where we have a school bus stop, and that's kind of concerning when we have, like, you know, a lot of fog in that area.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of kids going out there, so just be really mindful when you're out there and about. Keep those lights on. You have foggy patches, you know, you could see perfectly fine, and then you come down to a valley of foggy patches, and no one can see you. Daytime running lights, some of the first generation ones, I believe just the headlights come on, even no tail lights on there. So make sure you just turn your lights on out there and being aware.
Are there fines that are, I know in school zones, all fines are doubled and things like that, but do they look at things when it comes to neighborhoods and kids out there? Are there emphasis patrols as we move into the fall season? Well,
one of my several hats I get to wear as a school resource officer is also do traffic in school zones, and I'm also going to be doing traffic where there's going to be large gathering of kids for bus stops. That's one of my pet peeves as well, is when people are going fast through, when there's kids sitting out there. I just ask people to drive like their kids are standing out on the side of that street there as well.
Makes a lot of sense, and you see them, it's oftentimes neighborhood-built structures to keep them dry and things like that. Also in studio here, Mason County Sheriff Casey Salisbury. Good morning to you, sir.
Morning.
And what else is, we're talking fog, and we're talking kids out on the roadways, and that we're talking maybe responding to emergency situations right in the middle of things. But what else? What have you been working on?
Well, that would be the undersheriff calling me. Well, actually, I've been working on getting Matt down here to the studio for a while to have you talk to him. Just doing a super job with that. We talked a few weeks ago about the speed control measures, and Matt's the guy moving those around. It's interesting to me that when we put those out, when one person sees them, pretty soon the next person wants it. Now we could have 10 of those things going at once. And the challenge is that we don't have a whole lot of people, and everybody's neighborhood is the most important to them. And everybody wants the same thing going on in their neighborhood at the same time it's going on somewhere else. And we just don't have enough speed watch traders or deputies to put somebody in every neighborhood. And that's why we move them around. But as we talked earlier, Jeff, and you pointed out for Halloween as well, but people just need to be more mindful of the environment they're in. You were talking about around the school zones, and there's just places that there's a greater population than others that it becomes more imperative to slow down and be mindful of what's going on around you.
And tomorrow night, there's not only neighborhoods and things like that, but there'll be a lot of kids in the downtown of Shelton tomorrow, and different places as they're running about too. So not just school zones, but high traffic areas in general.
High traffic areas.
How do you choose, or is it a first come, first serve on these radar deals here? So Lake Limerick had it for a while. The Shore Road had it for a while.
Had it on Cole Road. It's right now we have one out on Cook Plant Farm. I have the in tow this morning, so we're going to take that out to another location. I really think that thing could probably use its own Facebook page. It's pretty popular these days. I literally created a list so that we can look, we can basically keep track of where it's at and what it's going, and put the reports that are on for us to look at. But it's been, I think since the last time we were on the radio there, it's gained a lot of popularity. So right now we have 2 units that are gainfully employed all the time right now, which is good.
And I'll get Quiet Troy on that one. He'll build that Facebook page by the end of this conversation.
A great thing happened a couple of weeks ago. He put that out, and to say how much people, it's just the way it is, and I don't see it changing in the future. But I had an individual that we were working with on that, and we had the speed control deal in the area for a while. But she continued to tell me, well, we just never see law enforcement here. We never. Well, she happened to be on a cell phone pulled over on the side of the road, and a trooper made a traffic stop right in that same area, and stopped and checked on the person. And then within a couple seconds, there was a deputy sheriff there, stopped in as well. And she said, I say that, but now I've got two here. It's just that our cars are always moving. And when you only have a few cars to cover a huge area, you can't sit in one place constantly, because the calls that are going off, you have to move to those areas where things are occurring, high priority things. So we try to move into those areas as much as we can, and Matt gets that speed control device. And I think the other thing when Matt does the data on these things and they come out, is, to me, it's amazing if you look at those, not so much the speeds, even the amount of traffic flow on some of these roads that you wouldn't think there'd be very many people on. When you have, I think one of those was 4,500 cars rolled through an area there's really only a certain amount of people live up there. How many times a day people are moving through there in a 4 or 5 day period? It's pretty phenomenal when you look at the numbers.
Are you surprised in that? And then does that help you guys in turn maybe change the way you patrol? You say, oh, well, there's obviously a lot more people here than maybe we thought in this area. We should be there more?
A lot of is other calls that are coming in from the area and things that we recognize. I think anywhere you set one of those, I've even done one that was nearly in the city for us, using ours, that the volume of traffic on a residential area was absolutely phenomenal in that particular area. But the other thing is that I hear a lot is, and I know it's a figure of speech, but oftentimes people are convinced that everybody's doing 100 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah.
That's the big comment all the time. Yeah. And the bottom line is most of the time when we set that in an area, most of the time, the speeds are much, much lower than what people think they are. In a 25 zone, we'll have an average speed of 18 miles an hour. So sometimes it varies. Oftentimes it's somebody complaining because somebody has loud pipes on a car or something that makes them think that the car is going faster than it is. Or, there's all kinds of variables involved.
So you have the traffic control device out there, and it's out there for a week or something, and it'll go away. And you can tell me this if you don't. This may be inside baseball, but then do you guys go out there in that same location with an actual patrol car? Because after you've gotten done, people may go, fine, it's gone. Now we can tick it up a few notches, and then they come around the corner and whoop, there you are.
Right. Well, that's one good thing about it, is it does record data. So it calls traffic volume, time of day, and so we can take that information and see, hey, look, we have an issue between, say 4 and 6 o'clock, and then we have a high volume, and our, most of the speeders are between that time as well, and so that gives us a good time that we can go out there and do some really good proactive policing.
How are the schools doing? I know you also do school resource, and everybody's getting along. We're good.
So far, so good. Yep. Got some stuff coming up that we're working on that I'll hopefully maybe next time we come on here we can talk about it, because I haven't implemented it yet, but it's called digital citizenship, and it's basically online responsibility and with social media and stuff.
Nice.
So it's something that we're going to be able to implement in there.
A lot of talk on social media, not only from the organizations, the school district, things like that, but just people in their day to day. It's a interesting world we're trying to navigate with social media. Sheriff Salisbury, good to see you. Matt, good to see you. Thanks for coming on the air today.
Thank you.
You bet.